Hey guys, so as promised, today I'm going to do a tutorial video on how to do a friendship bracelet. And it's not going to be anything too fancy. It's just going to be something that I kind of stumbled across on my own. It's a well-known pattern. It's nothing that I invented myself, but I just happened to be playing around with it and I figured it out on my own. So I thought it was pretty cool. And then when I found out that a lot of people do this, I'm like, oh, well that's not as fun, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay, I started this one so you can tell what it's supposed to look like. So, I used 4 colors, green, white, pink, and black. And I just kind of goes back and forth in a zigzaggy motion. Mine's about a little more than a quarter of the way done, maybe a third of the way done. And I used 4 colors, but you can use however many colors you want. But if you use more than 4, it tends to be a little thick. And if you use too many, a lot less than 4, tends to not be thick enough. And I doubled each color so that it was thicker. So even though I have 4 colors, I really have 8 strands. So usually when you're making a friendship bracelet, anywhere between 4 strands and 8 strands is the norm for a bracelet. And what I did was, because I doubled each strand, I just took 1 strand of each color and folded it in half. So in this case, I made each one 3 arms lengths long. My arms are really short though, so that might be a little longer than you need if you have longer arms. So I did 3 arms lengths long each, and then I folded them in half, so it's about 1.5 each. I'm not a big fan of actual measurements. I just kind of, go off the cuff how long I think it should be. And I also have thicker wrists, so you have to use your judgment. Yeah. And so then I have 8 strands, and in order to make this, you're going to start off doing a regular candy stripe with all the colors. So you're just going to start with this thread right here, and you're going to tie a knot in all 7 of these, all the way across. Okay? Okay, the way you make the knot is, in case you don't know how to make it, is you take the string, and you make it the shape of a 4, and then you go, here, let me see, you do it so you can see it. You go underneath it, and you pull it through. And you tie it tight, and you do that twice, and that makes 1 knot. So doing it twice makes 1 knot. You're going to do it all the way across all of the row. Just, make a 4, go under, and pull it tight twice on each one until you get to the very end of the row. So we're on our last one with this first green one. And then, once you get to the end of the row, you're going to go back to the beginning and take this string right here and do the same thing across all 7 threads, doing a forward knot. Got my strings a little tangled there. Doing a forward knot on just this one. Doing it twice makes 1 knot. And then, same thing as with the first one. You're just going to go all the way across, making a forward knot, so twice, on each one. And then remember, don't stop at the one you stopped at before. You have to go all the way to the last one. So now the second green one is on the end. And you're just going to keep doing the same thing with all of them. So you're going to take this white one next, and go all the way across to the end. So then the white one will end up on this side. And you're going to take this white one and go all the way across to the last white one. So you're going to keep going till eventually you're back to the beginning where you started with the 2 greens on this side. As you can see, we're almost back to the beginning. I'm on the last string of the set, the very last black one. So you can see that the green is back at the front of the row. Opposed to when we first the way it was when we first started. So you're gonna just, like I said, you're gonna keep doing your forward knot on each strand to the very end. And when you use your very last one, you're gonna have a whole row complete. So it's gonna be about that thick. Now to do the zigzag thing, what you're gonna do is you're now gonna go in reverse. So taking the string you just stopped using. So, which would be this one. So instead of going from the left to right, we're going to go from right to left this time. Let me just straighten out my strings a little bit so it's not as confusing. So starting with this one now, we're going to go from right to left, doing a backwards knot. So instead of doing the backward 4, you're going to do a regular 4, like that, and you're going to just pull it under and go up. And same thing, a backward knot would be, you still do it twice. Okay, so now that we've completed that first row, we're going to go back to the right again with this black strand. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go across all 7 of these, and you're just going to keep doing the same thing like you did before. So then the black one will be on that side, and then you're going to start with the pink one and go across all 7, and it'll be on that side until eventually the green, like before, is back, or I mean the black is back to the right side where it started. Okay, so we're about halfway done with this section. So you can see we've already brought the pink and the black across. So we just have the whites to bring across and then the greens to bring across. And we'll be back to where we were before with going black to pink to white to green. Okay, so we're almost done with our final row. We're on the last green string. So we're just going to continue doing double knots, backwards knots. Remember, twice on each string. And I'm sorry if you can't really see what I'm doing. I don't really have a place to put the camera as I'm working, so I'm resting it in my shirt. Don't tell anybody. So if you can't really see what I'm doing, I'm sorry, but by now you kind of know the drill. Just doing the backward knots. So yeah, the backward knots are a little harder to do than the forward knots, especially if you're right-handed. If you're right-handed, the forward knots are usually the easiest. If you're left-handed, backward knots are easier. But like I said, no matter how hard it is to do the backward knots with your other hand, if you remember, you have to make sure you do the backward ones, not just a forward one in reverse, because then it won't come out right. And if you really are not comfortable doing a backward knot, there aren't many bracelets that you can really make without a backward knot, other than the simple candy stripe and a couple others. But if you're really not comfortable doing the backward knot, what you can do is, just turn the bracelet over and still work on the forward knot. You see we're done. So because if you can tell, the back of this, like the front of this is, you can't really tell, but it's raised. It has like a texture to it, and the back of it is very smooth and flat. Like you can see the difference between going like that and like that. So if you're really not comfortable doing the backward knot, what you can do is you can just do your bracelet forward and then just flip it over and continue doing forward knots this way. It'll give the same flip-flop effect, or not, it'll give the same zigzag effect, but it'll also get a flip-flop effect, whereas you'll have like a raised section, then a flat section, then a raised section, then a flat section. And that can look pretty cool also. It's just another way of doing it if you don't want to do a backward knot. So that's the end of the tutorial for today. I did an entire row of forward and backward. So you can see it has the zigzag pattern to it. And I want to give a shout out to the YouTube channel I had mentioned yesterday. It's Vivi Rocks Your Socks 004. Rocks like R-O-X, your U-R, and socks S-O-X. And I'll post a little here. Turn you back to me. I'll post a little annotation right there with her name again. I just want to thank her for making videos on doing embroidery, thread, bracelets, and stuff. I didn't actually see this one on her channel. She has some very similar to this on her channel, so you should check them out. But I don't think she does one exactly like this. She does one pretty close, I think, with the flip-flopping. But I don't think she shows just the straight doing forward-backward knots, not flip-flopping. So that's it for the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. Stay tuned. Eventually I will be doing more bracelet tutorials. Not very soon. I don't want to do too many of them, but I will do one eventually if I have the need to find something to do. And make sure you check out Vivi Rocks Your Socks 004. She's awesome with her bracelets, and I totally have to give her credit for giving me this idea and inspiring me to do this. So, thank you. Okay, bye.